Hey everyone, Evan Agee here from evanag.com and agdesign.com, coming at you with a quick Photoshop tip. The idea for this is to show you how to compress images for saving or uploading to the web. Now this is useful for anyone that's uploading images to their own website, or also people uploading photos to Facebook or Flickr and the like. And the idea is that an image can be saved as a JPEG in many ways. Going to File and Save As from Photoshop can give you a JPEG, but it's not optimized for the web. There is a special way of saving images in Photoshop for the web, and I'm going to show you how to do that. First thing you need to do is finish your composition, get it to the size you want. Basically, once you're done with it, this is going to be the last step. You're going to go up to File, and down here underneath Save As, check in Save for Web and Devices, and we're going to click on that. And this window here is going to give you a preview of what your image is going to look like using the settings. Now what settings are we using? These up here on the right side. You'll notice that there's, if you click this menu here, we have 5 different formats to save in. I won't go through what each of these formats is for. I will tell you that JPEG is almost always the best for any photo-like files. If it's something with some really simple animated looking graphics, GIF can be good, PNG and PNG24 are good. If you have something that has transparency, you're almost always going to want to use PNG24, which has a support for an alpha channel, which means you can sit it on top of any background and it will blend seamlessly. Very, very useful for those who are adding different types of graphics to their website. For my image here, this photo, I'm going to use JPEG. And for your compression, you'll notice there are a couple different settings here. And when I change this to low, watch over here where it says quality. Basically, these are just presets for this quality slider. You can adjust this to be absolutely anything you want, any whole number or whatever. But most of the time it's pretty useful just to go over here and select a preset and go on your way. And what you choose here pretty much depends on the results you're seeing here. In this case, if I go down to low, you can start to see some artifacting and the really subtle color changes up here. It's probably a little too low. If I go up to medium, that actually looks really good. And this tells me down here that the resulting image will be 42.65 kilobytes, and it will load in about 1 second on a 1.5 megabyte connection, which is pretty standard these days actually. Even if I change it to 2 megabytes per second, it's still saying 1 second. But basically there's going to be no delay for loading this image. We have a couple of options here. Progressive isn't very important anymore. It's not, for the speeds that we have for most people today, it's not going to be a problem. The reason that is there, to my knowledge, is from the dial-up days when people would literally have to sit and wait 5-10 seconds for an image to load. You wanted to be able to show them that something was loading there, even though it wasn't loaded yet. Nowadays most images pop on within a couple of seconds, and this isn't an issue. You'll notice that having it on saves us about 1 kilobyte of space if you watch here. But I tend to leave it on. I don't necessarily go and turn it off specifically usually. But these are all of the settings you really need to change to save for web. It's automatically going to apply the correct color palette to that image and all the right compression to it to preserve the quality as much as possible while making the file size as small as possible. Now you see, and once we're done here, all we have to do is go down to Save and pick where we want to save it at. And in this case, I'm going to put it on this thumb drive I've got here. And I'll call it slider image here. And just for a comparison, I'm going to go through the old way of doing it and go to File, Save As, and save it on my drive here, slider image, JPEG. I'm going to change this down here to JPEG and hit Save. And since I used a medium compression settings on the other one, I'm going to do about the same here and do about 6. And click OK. And then we'll look at the resulting file sizes here really quickly. You can do that with Command I on the Mac. and you'll see that our small image that we use for save for web to produce is 45 kilobytes, whereas our larger image, done the old way, is 152 kilobytes. So quite a big difference there for very little difference visually. So the save for web command is definitely one of the best tips there is for getting images onto the web and preserving quality while making the file size smaller. Thanks everyone, and until next time, I hope you all have a great day.